Hello, my dear. I'm Emmeline Pankhurst, but you can call me Emmy. Let's go for a walk in this delightful city full of history. Mine started there, in the other part of this river. Oh, look, I have some picture in my wallet. I was born Emmeline Golden in the suburb of Moorside, in a quarter you call today Shorton, I guess. On my birth certificate, I was officially born on the 15th of July, 1858, but I always believed my birthday was one day earlier. I have always thought that the fact I was born on Bastille Day had some kind of influence over my life. When I was young, I identified with female revolutionaries who stormed the Bastille. I grew up in a family which has a tradition of activist politics, actually. But I remember something else, which increased my desire to enter politics. Once, when I was walking home from school, I passed the gate of the Salford's New Bailey prison and I saw the remain of the gallows where 3 Irish nationalists were executed. They had killed a policeman in protest against British domination. I left the family house and became Mrs. Pankhurst when I married Richard in 1879. He was 24 years older than me. Actually, he graduated the year I was born. But we were linked by our strong political convictions. My husband was a lawyer and a great supporter of women's rights movement. Did you know he was a legal advisor to Lydia Bucker and the Manchester National Society of Women's Suffrage? I was so proud he was mine. He considered me on equal footing, and we were more than married. We became a political duo. From our love came our 5 pretty children: Francis, Henry, Christabel, Sylvia, and Adela. My 3 beautiful daughters have awaited the will to fight from their mother. We lived in a house in here, Salford, on Sidley precisely. I heard you now have 2 streets called Christabel Walk and Pankhurst Close. I couldn't imagine that when I was leaving. My family and I moved in London in 1885. There, Richard and I founded the Women's Franchise League in 1889, which fought to allow married women to vote in local elections. At that time, magazines enjoyed making scandals, discrediting us only because I wore pantaloons. My sweet husband passed away in 1898. It was a terrible time for my family and I. I missed him a lot. But the fight must go on. And 4 years after, October 1903, as I recall, the WSPU was born. Oh, sorry, sweetheart. WSPU means Women's Social and Political Union. People started to christen us suffragettes. Our strike astonished politicians and press. We were full of energy and fearlessness, to such an extent that one of our sisters was killed in 1913. That brave Emily Davidson threw herself under the King's horse at the Derby as a protest at the ignorance of government. This year, my sisters and I were arrested a bunch of times. The government started Cat and Mouse Act, but it never stopped us. It's only fueled the anger. But we were forced to stop our militant activities when the Great War broke out, and then I used my energy to support the war effort. Finally, when the war was over, the Representation of the People Act gave voting right to women over 30. It was a great victory for all of us, half of humanity. But we weren't satisfied. My daughters, Sylvia and Christabel, became 2 beautiful and strong ladies, and we left me at the WSPU fighting for men and women equality. And in 1925, the law recognized a mother's rights over her children. I was proud of my daughters until my death, the 14th of June, 1928. I didn't quite live long enough to see the day of the same year which women were created equal voting rights with men.